What is going on YouTube? It's O'Neil from Tap to O'Neil, and as you guys can see, we're covering our Roth IRA. Today I want to talk to you about the restructuring of my Roth IRA, and I'm not restructuring it in the way that you guys may think. I'm restructuring it in the way as in terms of how much I'm allocating towards each ETF. You guys know I hold about 3 ETFs: JEPQ, SCHG, and GDX, and I hold these three specific ETFs for different reasons. JEPQ specifically for my dividends later on in my retirement. SCHG obviously for growth. I'm very convinced that tech and just growth stocks as a whole are going to perform well above my expectations, when I get to my retirement age. And obviously GDX, this is my gold ETF, is to protect against the devaluing of the dollar. And sorry, I forgot to mention, there's no screen, no camera setup for me, today. So I don't have my camera with me today. So I just wanted to get this video out just to cover this slight little change that I'm making in my Roth IRA. So right now, as you guys can see, my Roth IRA is sitting at $8,901.57. That just changed. We're down $79.47 on the day. We haven't crossed over $9,000 just yet. We did briefly touch the $9,000 mark about probably 3 or 4 different times this week. So definitely next week with our contributions alone and our deposits alone, we'll definitely be over $9,000. And so that's a nice little milestone. So you guys can see on March 2nd, we crossed over, we was at $9,021. March 4th, we crossed over $9,042, and we did that twice on March 4th, and then also on March 5th and on March 6th. So we're really close to touching that milestone. Our buying power is a little bit low at 93 cents. Reason being, I just been seeing a lot of buying opportunities, so I'm just really buying into any thing that I see like as a good buying opportunity, especially with SCHG. So right now, my total contributions for year 2026 is at $1,118. I got an IRA match of $33.54, and I got $6,382 left until maxing out for year 2026. As you guys know, I covered on my Roth IRA series of maxing out my Roth IRA contributions. I maxed out my contributions for year 2025, and I didn't quite do that for year 2024 because I started at the end of the year. So you guys see my contributions are very low, but I did finish out maxing out 2025, and my total contributions for year 2025 was about $7,000. For year 2026, they upped the contribution cap to about $7,500. So I'm excited to see what my account ends up at the end of the year, where it ends up at the end of the year, pretty much. So let's just go over our current positions, what our current positions are looking like. JEPQ, we're sitting at $4,791.45 in market value. Currently down $1.80 on the total return. That's just decreasing. My average cost is at $57.17, and we hold about 83.83 shares of JEPQ. We did get paid a dividend this month. You guys know this does pay me out dividends on a monthly basis. Where is it? So we got paid out $42.11, and we have drip on, so that reinvested, and we got about 0.73 shares at a price of $57.66, which I'm not too happy about it buying at that price, because look where it's sitting at. Look where JEPQ sitting at right now. If I had bought in a little bit lower, or but they do their own thing when it comes to the drip. They kind of do it towards the end of the day, or like it's weird. I can't really explain it. Let's go to the next one, where we have, which is going to be hello. All right, SCHG. I don't know why the laptop is moving this slow. So SCHG, I have an average cost of $31.90. Currently down $137.41, or that 44 cents overall, holding about 111 shares. And our market value is at $3,407.48. So the change that I made, I've been upping my contributions. So we're going to speak on that. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. I've been upping my contributions for SCHG because I had a little chat with the one and only ChatGPT, and I pretty much was asking ChatGPT what is the best way to structure my Roth IRA with these three specific ETFs. But before we can get into that, let's cover GDX real quick. Our position on GDX, we're currently up $32.34. Gold did have a slight sell off this week after its pump, but it does that. This is an asset that people are constantly pouring money into and taking money out of. So we have a market value of $675.29 with an average cost of $96.89. Currently holding 6.63 shares. So that's my position on GDX. So what I was talking about in terms of my change in my allocations, what I have done now, so GDX is still going to stay the same at $5 on a daily basis. But what we did, we upped our contributions for SCHG. Instead of it previously being at $10, we bumped it up to $20. So we're going to be buying about $20 of SCHG on a daily basis, $5 of GDX on a daily basis, and $6 of JEPQ on a daily basis. That is down from where it was at $10. And the reason why I decreased my contributions for JEPQ and I increased my contributions for SCHG is because when I spoke with ChatGPT, it pretty much said the mistake that a lot of investors or beginning investors make. Remember, none of this is financial advice, so do your own due diligence, do your own research, figure out what works best for you. But what works best for me and what I've heard is that when you allocate too much towards dividends, you kind of kill some of your gains, later on in the year. So you want to allocate most, or what I want to do is I want to allocate most towards growth. And some of you guys held me accountable in the comment section, so I appreciate you guys. You guys been pointing this out in the comment section. But remember, I'm always learning on the go, and no, I have no guidance when it comes to this. I'm just doing the best I can with what I know and what I've experienced personally. And I guess experience is the best teacher for me. So, I I'm upping my contributions towards my growth, so I can front load my growth, and then when I get a little bit later in my retirement years or closer to my retirement years, I'm gonna up my contributions for JEPQ, um, because that's what's gonna be helping me keep money or get money on a weekly or monthly basis, I should say. So yeah, that's the reason why I went for JEPQ. Uh, when you allocate too much towards dividends, it kind of kills your growth. Because growth is it's self-explanatory. Growth is, as I explained it, growth is growth. Is meant to grow. You want to start that snowball a lot earlier on, and have this thing grow out of control a lot faster than waiting to your later years to have this thing snowball and get into turn into a pretty much avalanche. So yeah, that's what I did for as far as changing up my allocations towards each ETF. And so I'm gonna pull this up, and I just wanted to show you guys something real quick that's interesting feature that you guys want to show. I'm gonna blur the top out so it doesn't reveal my name, because I don't know why it does that. But here's something a little interesting that you guys should look at. So it shows you your average price paid with your current contributions of $5, and then my GDX price being $101, and it shows you all these stats of when you first started investing. Sorry, excuse me, investing into this ETF, and what it can look like and what it can grow to if you keep this same investing pace, and it does that for all of them. So you guys remember last year, on August 1st, that's when I added SCHG into my portfolio, and look where SCHG was sitting at $29.42. And so this thing can grow. So I'll have 2,646 by August 1st. I think this is very interesting, to say the least, when you look at these stats and what it looks like. And see, on April 3rd, 2025, that's when I first started allocating towards JEPQ on a daily basis. So I feel like this is very interesting. So and then also another thing that it does, another thing that you can do or look at is like what your portfolio looks like on a pie So you got GDX being my smallest portion, JEPQ being the other half. That's pretty big, and SCHG. And I want to change this so SCHG is a lot bigger than JEPQ. So and then it also shows you how much you have in terms of cash compared to your stocks and options, and your overall return, average cost, all these other different factors. So just a little something interesting for you guys to look at. I just wanted to show you guys. Remember, this is my probably second, third smallest portfolio. So it doesn't matter what portfolio value you're at. You can start investing today. Remember, the purpose of these videos is to encourage you guys to invest. Remember, none of this is financial advice. I'm not saying to copy anything that I do. I'm just showing you guys what I do, and I'm trying to encourage you guys to start investing. It doesn't matter what age you're at, or what place you're at in your life, or how much dollar amount. You can start at as little as $1, or just start somewhere. The whole purpose is to start and get started, so you can have something for your retirement in your later years, man. So it doesn't, like I said, remember, it does not matter what dollar amount or where you started. Biggest thing you want to take from this is to get started, and this is to encourage you. Even though this is one of my smallest portfolios, this was the best performing portfolio for me last year. I think we was close to beating the S&P 500. We fell a little bit short, like probably about 2-3%. But we're definitely changing up our strategy this year, and hopefully we can beat the S&P 500 this year. So if you guys felt like this is useful or helpful anyway, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, turn on post bell notifications, leave a comment down below for feedback. Join up on a Discord. That is free to join. The link to that is going to be in the description below, so make sure you guys check that out. And yeah, without further ado, it's Tap No On Nail, and I'm signing out.